Our story begins on a seemingly ordinary Sunday, a day of gentle warmth and quiet contentment unfolded for the Petit family of 4. After the solemn rituals of church, Jennifer, the 48-year-old matriarch, and her daughters Hayley, 17, and Michaela, 11, sought the soothing embrace of the sea, while Dr. William Petit Jr., their father, found solace in the measured rhythm of the golf course. No one could have foretold the horrors that lurk just beyond the veil of normalcy, the unspeakable nightmare that would soon engulf their lives. As the family drifted into slumber in the early hours of July 23rd, 2 specters, Stephen Hayes and Joshua, crept into their Cheshire, Connecticut home. Their presence a chilling violation of the sanctuary within. What began as a mere burglary, a petty theft, would soon descend into a fiery inferno of terror. The evening before, Sunday, July 22nd, Jennifer and Michaela ventured to the local Stop and Shop, a mundane errand, a simple trip for groceries. Michaela, with the innocent enthusiasm of youth, planned to prepare a family dinner, a culinary expression of her love. Unbeknownst to them, Joshua, a predator lurking in the shadows, had marked them as targets, his eyes drawn to the car, the house, the vulnerable innocence of the 11-year-old girl. While Joshua stalked his prey, he spoke with Stephen Hayes, his accomplice, his partner in crime. They were denizens of the underworld, inhabitants of a halfway house after being released from prison, their lives a tapestry of broken promises and shattered dreams. Hayes, desperate for money, teetered on the precipice of parole violation. Joshua, his ankle bracelet recently removed, craved the thrill of the forbidden, the intoxicating rush of transgression. "Robbing a house is better than any drug I ever tried," he once confessed, his words a chilling testament to his depravity. He called burglary an extreme sport, a perverse game of cat and mouse, a dance with the devil. That night, they would embark on their first criminal venture as a team. 2 lost souls, bound by a shared hunger for darkness. As the perpetrators plotted their entry, the Petit family enjoyed the simple pleasures of a Sunday evening. They savored Michaela's homemade pasta, their laughter echoing through the house, then settled down to watch a movie. A moment of shared warmth before the encroaching night. Around 11 p.m., they retired to their beds, Hayley to her own room. William had fallen asleep on the couch in the sunroom, and Michaela to the comforting embrace of her mother's bed, where they would read Harry Potter together. And so, the house fell into a tranquil silence, a deceptive calm before the storm. At approximately 3 a.m., the silence was shattered. Hayes and Joshua arrived, armed with a knife, a pellet gun disguised as a 9mm pistol, and a bag of zip ties, their tools of terror. They found the bulkhead door to the basement unlocked, an invitation from fate, and slipped into the cellar like phantoms in the night. They seized a baseball bat, a blunt instrument of violence, and ascended into the house, their presence a chilling invasion. William Petit, still asleep on the couch, was their first victim. They beat him mercilessly, a brutal awakening from his peaceful slumber. They bound his wrists and ankles with zip ties, their words a chilling promise of more to come. They ascended the stairs, their footsteps echoing through the silent house, and entered Jennifer's bedroom, where Michaela slept beside her mother. Jennifer was tied to the bedpost, her ankles and wrists bound, her freedom stolen. Michaela was dragged from her bed and restrained in the same manner. Hayley, in her own room, suffered the same fate. Her dreams shattered, her life held hostage. The two men ransacked the house, their greed driving them onward, but they found little to satisfy their hunger. They returned to William, demanding to know the location of the safe, a hidden treasure. William, his voice trembling, told them there was no safe. They untied his ankles, marched him downstairs into the basement, and bound him to a support pole with zip ties, a prisoner in his own home. A blanket was thrown over his head, a final indignity, a symbol of his helplessness. Hayes and Joshua continued their search, their frustration mounting, their greed insatiable. They changed their plan, deciding to wait until the bank opened, forcing Jennifer to withdraw money for them. The hours that followed were a torment of unknown proportions, a psychological torture chamber. Later that morning, Hayes left the house, driving to a gas station, purchasing 2 cans of gasoline, a chilling premonition of the inferno to come. He returned to the house, then forced Jennifer to accompany him to the bank, where she withdrew $15,000 from her line of credit. He allowed her to enter the bank alone, a bizarre act of trust. Jennifer, her voice trembling, her eyes wide with terror, informed the bank teller of the unspeakable horror unfolding in her home. The bank's surveillance cameras, silent witnesses, captured the chilling transaction, a desperate plea for salvation. While Jennifer pleaded for help, Joshua, the architect of their torment, held dominion over the remaining Petit family members. Between the hours of 7:27 a.m. and 9:14 a.m., he indulged in a grotesque ritual, capturing images of Michaela, her innocence violated, her body displayed in various states of undress. The bank manager, sensing the gravity of the situation, contacted 911, relaying the unfolding nightmare to the authorities. Jennifer, he reported, had spoken of the home invaders, their demeanor deceptively nice, their intentions seemingly limited to financial gain. The Cheshire police responded, their presence a silent sentinel, their vehicles forming a perimeter, their presence concealed from the eyes within. While the police maintained their watchful vigil, Hayes and Joshua escalated their reign of terror, their actions spiraling into unspeakable depravity. Joshua, in an act of monstrous violation, sexually assaulted Michaela, a confession he would later offer to the authorities. The autopsy confirmed his act. Jennifer was thrown to the living room floor, her body a canvas for their depravity. Joshua, displaying the images he had captured of Michaela, urged Hayes to commit the same act upon Jennifer. As Hayes had his way with her, he spotted a police car passing the house, a fleeting glimpse of the outside world. Consumed by a rage born of fear and desperation, he silenced Jennifer, extinguishing her life with a brutal act of strangulation. In the basement, William Petit, bound and helpless, heard the commotion above, the sounds of his family's agony. He cried out, only to be met with a chilling response, a promise of swift and finality. Driven by a primal instinct for survival, he managed to escape, crawling through the basement, emerging into the daylight, and fleeing to his neighbor's house. his mind consumed by the fear that his family was about to be executed. Hayes, in his confession, admitted that Joshua had announced William's escape. They doused Jennifer's lifeless body and the house itself with gasoline, a chilling prelude to the inferno. The daughters, still bound to their beds, were drenched in the flammable liquid. Hayes and Joshua ignited the fire, a furious blaze that would consume everything in its path. They fled, Joshua stealing the Petit family car, crashing into a police vehicle before speeding away, only to be stopped by a police roadblock. Flames engulfed the house, a roaring testament to their cruelty. Hayley and Michaela, trapped in their rooms, endured a horrific demise, their lives extinguished by smoke and fire. The crime scene photographs told a harrowing tale. Hayley, in a desperate attempt to escape, had freed herself from her restraints, only to collapse at the top of the staircase, her body bearing the marks of the inferno. Michaela remained in her bed, her hands still bound, her body a chilling testament to her captivity. The medical examiner, in his grim report, attributed their deaths to smoke inhalation, but the evidence spoke of a more agonizing end. Both Hayes and Joshua confessed to their crimes, each attempting to shift the blame, each claiming the other as the mastermind. Hayes, detectives testified, reeked of gasoline, a lingering scent of the inferno he had unleashed. The home invasion, a 7-hour saga of terror, had left William Petit the sole survivor, a man condemned to live with the ghosts of his shattered family. Here concludes our true story. And remember, lock your doors, and if you sleep, you make it easier for them.